Hello. Thank you for joining the Application Technical Assistance Training for the 2012-2013 Community Impact Grant Application. Today we will review the grant's timeline and the criteria for applying for grants. We'll have a brief tutorial along with helpful hints for successful completion of online application. Because this is a recorded webinar, there will be no question and answer period. You've already completed 1 and 2 of the grant's timeline, notice the funds available, and submitted the letter of intent, as well as attend the letter of intent and the notice of funds available webinar. The request for proposals is currently open, and technical assistance is available on the 2 webinars that were previously held on September 5th. Proposals are due by September 22nd, 2012 by midnight. Should your organization be awarded funding, December 2012 is where the awards will be mailed out, and funding will begin January 2013. Now again, you've already completed 2 steps of your grant eligibility that's included in the grant process. You were a member in good standing, as well as submitted a letter of intent. Just a point of reference, this will not apply to you. However, we do have members that are new members to United Way as of the 2012-2013 eligibility cycle. Those members that are new will not be able to apply for grants until 2013-2014 grant cycle, provided their application for membership is processed and accepted. Now, you know United Way does service 8 regional jurisdictions. As the map indicates here, your program must fall in one or several or all of the jurisdictions stated above here in the map. Grant awards will be awarded to an organization for no less than $7,500 to the maximum of $25,000 for each region. Now, in order for us to remain flexible and responsive, you can use funding for operational, administrative, staffing, and supply expenses. Grant funding cannot be used for capital expenditures such as building, construction, or renovation, or plans of thereof. An application that's submitted for capital expenditures would not be reviewed for funding. To access the grant application, you would simply type in the URL listed here. The application is also accessible from the instruction login page that was submitted to the letter of intent organization's representative, as well as from our United Way website from the For Members Nonprofit tab. Now we're going to take a look at the application. The screen will go blank while I pull up the application for you. Okay, here before you, you do see the Community Impact Grants Applications page. For accessing the information for the very first time, you're going to click in Sign Up for an Account, fill in the profile information. Your EIN should be obtained from your organization, and the secret key, which is the same as the org ID that's listed on the login instructions. Once you have submitted all information, you would simply save it, click the login button, entering your email address and password. Click the login button and it will bring you to the very first page of the application. There are 2 parts of the application, the organizational overview and the program overview, which is located on the left-hand menu. The rest of the items listed in the left-hand menu we will discuss shortly. For the organizational overview, this is where you're going to supply us with information for your organization, making sure you complete each box, as well as hitting the Save button once the information is completed on this page. You may also use the Save Next button if you're ready to move on to the next tab in the section. The budget information. Here is where you're going to input your organization's budget information, numerical values only. You're to type in your calendar or fiscal year dates and fill in the information as is listed here. There is a section for budget comments should you need to make comments. Officers, you're going to list all of your compensated officers in this section. Should you need to add additional officers, click Add the Officer button. The information typed in the box will appear at the bottom, and then allow for you to continue to fill in to add additional officers. Same as the Board of Directors. The Board of Directors information, again, filling in the box corresponding to the information here. Add the board member. The board member you have added will appear at the very bottom here for you. You can continue to follow that process should you need to add more than one board member. Co-branding. Co-branding, you're going to list here the strategies in which your organization can co-brand on complementary issues. Here is with the boxes you're going to include all of the co-branding strategies. Some of them you may already have implemented, those that you can certainly implement as well within your organization. Again, hitting the Save button to move to the next section. Now you're ready to add your program information. To add your program, simply click the Add Program button. And as you can see, you're going to go ahead and add a test program. On this page here, you're going to indicate your program name, again, the information submitted on your letter of intent, as well as selecting the impact area that you indicated on your letter of intent. If there is an impact area that does appear that does not have a corresponding letter of intent, that application will not be selected for funding. Your program must fall under one impact area, as indicated on your letter of intent, and you cannot use your program to describe multiple impact areas. On the budget section, again, entering the corresponding dates for your budget, whether if you use fiscal or calendar, last year's actuals, and current year budgets for your program. If it is a new program, you would simply allow for the zeros to remain intact for last year's actual and provide us with the current year budget information. Keeping in mind you're going to be entering numerical values only. Once you have submitted the budget information, you are going to provide us with any budget comments as well as what expenses, program expenses that the community impact dollars will support. The reviewer will, of course, be reviewing this information. For the regions, here's where you're going to indicate the regions in which you would like to apply for funding. Now, if your program has more than one region that you are selecting funding for, again, according to your letter of intent, you are to check the corresponding boxes for those regions. If you've selected a region in error, simply highlight the Remove This Region button, hit Save, and that region will disappear. So for each corresponding region that you select, you will see it underneath your program. Enter the dollar amount, save, and move on to the next tab. Now, some organizations may have co-branding information that may be program specific. The box up here will already be pre-entered with information you supplied us with for your organization's co-branding. Here, you can enter in additional information about co-branding as if it's going to be program specific. Again, hitting the Save button to move on to the next page. Now you're ready to begin your regional narratives now that you've told us all about your program overview. The regional narrative, again, it's going to state for you the program name, the impact area, the region, as well as the total funded request. You can double check this section along with the entries that are located on the side of the left-hand navigational tool. You're going to indicate if your program is a new program, if it's support for an ongoing program that's currently running, or if you're taking a current program and expanding it to serve more constituents. You're going to make that indication here and then provide us with the service address where the program will be implemented. In the Statement of Needs section, this, of course, you're going to provide us with a narrative covering all information in all 4 bullet points. Here you're going to provide us with collaborating organizations and the nature of their involvement. Provide us with a description of the target population. It's very important that your narrative incorporates all 4 points that are reflected on the bullets here to your left. Again, don't forget to save your paragraph information. The same is for design. Your narrative is going to address all the bullet points listed here in your narrative box below. In addition to the program design, you're also going to supply us with your program goals. You're going to list your activities as it relates to the goals, the outcomes, as well as the benchmarks related to achieving the program goals and objectives, and how you want to measure those benchmarks. If you need to, once you've completed the boxes, just click Add the Activity, and the information will appear right here below. You may enter another activity if needed. If you're adding another activity, Simply type in the corresponding information, hit Add the activity. If for some reason you've entered in information in a box and it's not clear, you need to make changes or edits, simply hit the Edit button. The information will appear up above in the boxes and proceed with making your edits. Hit Update this activity here. Button here to update the information below. Sustainability. With this particular section, again, you're going to provide us with a narrative covering all of the bullet points listed here on sustainability. It's very important that the need, region, and design narratives includes all of the bullet points that we just reviewed. Again, saving your information. So with this application, you are able to add another program onto one single application. In doing so, hit Add Another Program. And the program that we're going to add is a health program. So when adding the other program, I've indicated that it's healthcare, for example. You're going to fill in the information as well as to select the impact area that corresponds with the program. You're going to, again, fill in all of the budget information as it corresponds to the program. Select the region in which the services will be provided for your health program. Save and Next. When you hit the Save and Next button, the regions will automatically appear for you to the left. And again, if you need to delete an entry for your region, check the box Remove this region and hit Save. The same as it relates to co-branding with this program. If you do have co-branding strategies that can be program specific, you're going to enter that information here below. So now you've completed your application. You've added the corresponding sections according to the LOI you submitted. In the event that you want to print the application out before you sign and submit, click the Create PDF version. The application also contains a book monthly feature to where you are able to log out and log back in and pick up where you left off. Once all of the components of your applications are complete, you're going to hit the Sign and Submit button. You're going to type in your name here. That is going to serve as your electronic signature. If there are sections of the application that are incomplete, the error fields here below will tell you exactly where the error lies and allow for you to go back to that location to make your corrections. Once all the errors have been cleared, should there be any, the Submit Application button will be activated. Once you hit the Submit Application button, you will not be able to go in to make changes to your application. Once you have submitted, an email will go to the person that is listed as the primary contact, who will allow for them to print a PDF copy via a link in the confirmation email. Please retain the confirmation email, so that serves as your record that the application was submitted and accepted by the system. Moving back to the PowerPoint presentation. On our website here is just an example of how it appears. If you were to go to www.unitedway.org, www.unitedwaynca.org, click on the For Member Nonprofit, and here you will have a menus of links where you can access various parts of the website. The grant resource page is where the PDF version copy of the instructions will lie. You can also link to the online application as well, directly from the website. Some helpful hints when you're submitting your application. Keep in mind you must provide 2 levels of information, both organizational and program. The regional narrative for each program must be provided for each region that you are requesting for. Requested budget information will follow your budget year, both previous and current, whether you're using fiscal or calendar. Within the application, you can cut and paste. You are able to print a PDF view of your application as well as send an email submission is submitted to the person, confirmation email sent to the person that submitted the letter of intent. Now, if you do enter in a different email address other than what's on the letter of intent, then that primary contact person will receive a confirmation of the application. You're not able to upload any attachments to the budget section or the narrative section. Everything must be entered into the application. Should you need technical assistance during your application submission, please submit your email to this email address listed here below. Please allow 24 hours for a response to your inquiry. Just a few quick reminders. The application is currently live. You can only submit one application for each impact area. Requests for funding not indicated in your organization's letter of intent will not be accepted. And the login credentials were sent to the person that submitted the letter of intent. That does conclude our webinar for the application technical assistance. You can simply review this webinar at any given time. Thank you for your attention.